Greetings, Envoys. Sci-fi fan here with a focused look at the Soulframe lore developments that were revealed last week in Devstream number 9. This recap will concentrate specifically on the narrative and world-building implications of the coming updates to the game. For a deeper review of gameplay updates such as world bosses and expanded player customization, I recommend the recap videos by Sarah Loves Archery or Sinus Soulframe, which I will link to in the description below. As always, please note that Soulframe remains in its early alpha stage, and all content is subject to change prior to full release. With that out of the way, let's get into it. Last Friday's stream opened with confirmation of new Ode Armor. Jeff Crooks, Soulframe's creative director, offered little direct commentary on its origins, yet prior previews, particularly the Preludes 11 footage shown at TennoCon, have already suggested strong narrative connections. In the forthcoming Bromius mission, the Envoy has a flashback of a past life as a Tempest in service to the Ode, a revelation that underscores the armor's thematic significance. Aesthetically, the design bears a clear resemblance to the iconic figure of Darth Vader from Star Wars. In my opinion, in Return of the Jedi, Vader's unmasking reveals a frail and corrupted man confronting his legacy in his final moments. Soulframe appears to be pursuing a similar narrative trajectory, positioning the Envoy to confront the weight of their own history, reckoning with the actions committed under the Ode, and seeking redemption for a past steeped in corruption after their capture as a young Faken. The developers also highlighted new ruins featuring wall art and sculptural details. This is notable as in-game art directly tied to lore has so far been limited. Recurring examples include depictions within the Mines of Boro, where murals appear to show Orangel, or a potential ancestor of hers, howling at Iridis, Alka's moon, which is a celestial body that holds deep mythological significance in Soulframe's setting. Additional artwork portrays the Dendrit people interacting with the Omen Beast of Garen Rud and his lineage, alongside the representations of Mora, Safine, and Iridis, the twin suns and moon which are prominent in the skies of Alka and in Alka's religious undertones. The inclusion of these elements enriches the game world considerably, and it's my hope that future ruins will expand upon this tradition, offering new architectural and artistic details for future interpretation. Another point of interest involved unnamed mineral resources, depicted in concept art as crystalline structures within a mine. While the developers provided minimal commentary, it seems reasonable to conclude that these minerals will be tied to the Mines of Boro, thereby providing narrative justification for the Ode's continued presence in that location. Further concept art showed Ode machinery engaged in extraction activities, with ichor visibly coursing through the pipes connected to the equipment. During this segment, the developers remarked on a viewer's observation that the designs bore resemblance to the 1983 science fantasy film Krull. In the film, a prince and his companions attempt to rescue his bride from technologically advanced alien invaders, despite possessing only medieval weaponry. Though commercially unsuccessful at its release, Krull featured several notable actors in their early careers, including Liam Neeson, and has since acquired cult status. Whether directly influential or referenced in jest, the comparison highlights how Soulframe continues to draw from a wide spectrum of fantasy and science fiction sources, integrating them into its own lore framework. Beyond the Ode Armor highlighted at the start of the stream, the developers also showcased other upcoming equipment, including new armor pieces and weapons. Of particular note are two items with strong narrative potential: Fingualla's Diadem, a distinctive headpiece, and Dwelion, a Fey-forged sword. Fingualla is remembered as a queen of Midrath who has once received the Fey Empress in her court at the castle of Midrath, located on Midrath's northern coast. During this historic visit, the Fey Empress bestowed her blessings upon the castle walls, a gift that has preserved them for over 1,000 years. It is believed that this same Empress, or perhaps one of her descendants, is now being pursued by Lord Synod, the leader of the Ode, though his reasons remain yet unknown. If properly integrated into the game's lore, both the Diadem and Dwelion may serve as narrative anchors, shedding new light on the Fey Empress, the broader role of the Fey, and perhaps even the Felling, which is the era in which the Fey lost much of their power. The dev stream concluded with the unveiling of the Song of Waste, a hauntingly evocative composition that will accompany the forthcoming Bromius Fable quest. Notably, its lyrics were co-written by Sydney Hills, Soulframe's narrative director, in collaboration with Keith Powers, the composer responsible for music in both Soulframe and Warframe. The song is voiced from the perspective of Ode corruption, addressing Bromius directly. Its verses urge him to fight and bleed so that ichor may spread, and to lose himself in the process. One particularly striking line reads, "Join us, drink, come mendicant, with ichor floods forget yourself, flow out your blood, your life, your hell." The use of the term mendicant is significant. It recalls the Mendicant King, who infamously led the failed Faunish Charge, an event that gave rise to the Order of Dendrit Night Maidens. A corrupted version of the Mendicant King now wanders certain regions of Midrath. Whether the song's invocation of this title is intended as a direct reference or a broader thematic connection remains unclear, but it introduces intriguing possibilities for how past figures and events may intersect with the Ode's corruption in the present narrative. Taken together, the revelations from Devstream number 9 reinforce the growing depth and complexity of Soulframe's world, from the mysteries surrounding the Ode and their armor, to the artistic and architectural details of newly revealed ruins, to the introduction of Fae-related artifacts and the chilling themes of the Song of Waste. Each element builds upon the game's foundation of myth and memory. While many questions remain unanswered, such as the true nature of the Fae Empress, the purpose behind the Ode's corruption, or the connections between historical figures like the Mendicant King and present events, the pieces continue to fall into place. If nothing else, these previews underscore that Soulframe's lore is as much about rediscovery as it is about survival, inviting players to uncover the forgotten truths that lie beneath Midrath's haunted landscape. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more updates and analysis. Hit the bell so you don't miss any future Devstream breakdowns, previews, or lore discussions. Your support helps keep these videos coming and keeps the conversation about Midrath's mysteries alive. Stay curious, Envoys, and I'll see you in the next one.